Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee. I'm Jarrett Sack, staff to the committee. Senate Bill 5895 relates to collective bargaining for certain employees who are enrolled in academic programs at public institutions of higher education. For background, student employees are generally excluded from collective bargaining because they are exempt from state civil service. Last year, the legislature granted teaching assistants, research assistants, tutors, readers, graders, and other student employees at Central Washington University, Eastern Washington University, Western Washington University, and the Evergreen State College the right to collectively bargain. The bill before you grants the right to collectively bargain to student employees at Central Washington University, Eastern Washington University, Western Washington University, and the Evergreen State College, who were not included in last year's bill.
Senator Nobles to present our bill.
Well, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you, Chair, members of the committee. I'm Senator Tawana Nobles. I represent the 28th Legislative District. And I think we all can agree that student employees are critical to the everyday operations of our universities. They are resident advisors, maintenance workers, cashiers, counselors, tour guides, and so much more, each with unique and diverse job needs. Currently, there is no statutory framework that defines collective bargaining for student employees doing work outside of research, instructional, and other academic-related services. This bill would create that framework, defining an appropriate bargaining unit for certain student employees who are enrolled at Washington's regional universities. Collective bargaining makes higher education more equitable and accessible. Academic student employees at Washington's public universities have been bargaining under state law since 2002. They have won agreements for higher minimum wages, better health care and leave options, protections against discrimination and harassment, child care assistance, job security, and more. We must ensure students employed by their university are protected across different types of jobs, and that's exactly what this bill does. And campaigns for representation are already underway at regional universities. In December of 2023, more than 1,100 student employees at Western Washington University filed to unionize with majority support. But again, without this legislation, student employees that are not currently covered in state law do not have clear statutory framework for collective bargaining. Establishing a statute that defines an appropriate bargaining unit will in fact save time and resources by helping to avoid lengthy unit determination proceedings. So I do believe that it's time for more student workers to have a voice in our workplace. Today you will get to hear from students, and I just want to thank you for your time, and I'm happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
I thank you for sponsoring this bill.
Thank you.
And bringing it forward to us. Any questions for the senator? Excellent.
Thank you.
And good morning, Chair Kaiser and members of the committee. My name is Stella Sath. I am the student liaison for the Associated Students of Western Washington University, here in support of Senate Bill 5895. This bill proposes granting the right to collectively bargain to operational student employees at my institution who are not currently covered by existing collective bargaining laws. It is similar in scope to Senate Bill 5238 passed in 2023, which created a collective bargaining framework for student employees directly involved in academic services. Last year, I was one of those students who filed for recognition. I work at the Research and Writing Studio, consulting with students and providing them with the tools to help them succeed in their research. Today, I am an operational student, and I work just across the hall from my fellow student workers who work in the academics, and I see no differences between us. We all serve our students and our faculties, and we all help the members of the communities who are here to use our services on campus. SB 5895 offers to fix an inequity issue. Low-income and marginalized students who are more likely to work while they pursue higher education. And these jobs are often in operations of the school, such as janitorial work, cashiers, and maintenance workers. These students are also more likely to work 2 or 3 jobs. And in fact, I myself work 2 jobs as well currently, which means they are sometimes forced to take on work that mistreats them. Thank you for your consideration, and I urge you to pass Senate Bill 5895.
Thank you, Stella, and thank you for coming down from Bellingham. Juniper.
Good morning, Chair Kaiser and distinguished members of the committee. Thank you so much for having me here today. My name is Juniper Campbell, and I am the Legislative Liaison at the Evergreen State College, and I am here in strong support of SB 5895. Today, I will be giving the testimonies of two students who work at the custodial facilities at Evergreen. The first student. As soon as I was made aware of this bill, I felt it was important to provide my support for its passing. Students in residential facilities work alongside non-student workers who do similar jobs to ourselves, but with the protection and benefits of a union.
Yes.
With our work being the same or similar, I believe we also deserve the ability to affiliate with a union. When asking my unionized coworkers why we did not have the ability to unionize, they said this was something we had to bring to the legislature. I believe if this bill were to pass and student workers were able to unionize, this would foster better communication among the workplace, between departments, and create a better college environment. Second student. When you start to work as a custodian for the campus you live on, you begin to see with two lenses, as a worker and as a student resident using those spaces. This creates a special perspective. We aren't just students, and treating us as just students is not address our needs. We are student workers. No matter the level of urgency, it is always your job, as an underpaid college student, to figure out how to clean this campus of supplies that are constantly running out. You're barely paid above minimum wage, you aren't given proper training, and your scheduling does not always accommodate your needs as a student. The possibility of unionizing is the possibility of taking this capacity to make the changes we need to care for ourselves and care for the safety of this campus. In my own words, I believe this bill will lead to greater accessibility for those looking to enroll in higher education and support those student workers currently enrolled in their path to graduation. I strongly encourage you to support this bill, and thank you for your time.
Thank you. Good morning, Chair Kaiser and esteemed committee members. My name is Kaylee Thomas, and I am here in support of Senate Bill 5895. I am an undergraduate student at Western Washington University pursuing my degree in public health, and I work for the university as a telephone solicitor, securing critical fundraising gifts for the school. Unfortunately, it does not feel that the university cares as much about student workers as they do about our donors. I have personally brought in over $100,000 for the university, but my wages hover above minimum wage, despite working in my position for 2 years. I spend my entire day in classes and then go to work until 9 p.m. This schedule leaves me little time to study, do homework, work my second job to make ends meet, or even eat a proper meal. Student employees like me need collective bargaining rights in order to have a voice in our working conditions, just as our colleagues working as teaching assistants. We need jobs descriptions, advanced scheduling, adequate training, safety measures, and other basic workplace protections and compensation that reflects the critical work we do to keep Western operating smoothly. Our ability to advocate and defend each other shouldn't depend on which campus job we take. I raise funds for the university while I struggle to afford basic necessities and take on more and more debt, as many other student employees across campus do. Our work helps our institutions, our communities, and ultimately contributes to the education and economic well-being of Washington's workforce. For these reasons, I'm asking you to please pass this bill. We deserve to have our voices heard and collectively bargain for better working conditions. Thank you for your time.
Madam Chair, members of the committee, I am Olene Sonyailua. I am a student and employee at Central Washington University. I'm a first generation and hail from a single mother home. Working through college isn't for extra pocket money, it's absolutely critical. In my 3 years at Central, I've worked at least 3 different jobs on the campus, the most current being an apartment manager. No matter what job it was, I still never had a fair chance to establish consistent scheduling and adequate training. As an apartment manager, I'm on call 24/7 if students are locked out, need assistance, which also includes sometimes dealing with dangerous situations of domestic violence or substance abuse. I've had to respond to situations of domestic violence. One of those times, I had to be the only barrier between a drunken man about to punch his girlfriend. However, as a student worker, we receive little training and support for these serious situations. Having a voice in our working conditions means we can advocate for better training and clear schedules. Academic student workers have benefited from a clear framework for collective bargaining for over 20 years, and it's time to bridge that gap for all student workers to have a voice. I ask you to support SB 5895 so student workers like me can join together and bargain for better working conditions to close the equity gap. Thank you.